Hey, Dave, guess what?
What?
We are officially live with episode 76 of the Almost Daily Show. We're super excited for today's episode because it's been a little while since we've had a consistent show since we've taken the last couple of weeks off.
Yeah, we've had a busy couple of weeks. You've been traveling, a lot of client stuff, so it's just been busy, which is good. But consistency in content is what we're always preaching. So thank God we named it the Almost Daily Show, and we're back.
Yeah, the beautiful thing about the Almost Daily Show is it really doesn't actually commit us to anything, but it commits us to something, but nobody really actually knows what we're committed to. So it's perfect.
That's right. What you can count on is we actually talk about relevant stuff every time.
That's true. You can count on a show hosted by champions.
Champions of the ages.
Yep, of the 21st and a half century.
Age. I love it. So good stuff. Let's talk about we got a big holiday coming up. We should talk about it.
Yeah, so we've got obviously Christmas coming up. We've got all the other things that people celebrate. I think you're supposed to say happy holidays. So to me, it's so I don't have to say 375 other different things. But for everybody else, it's to be like politically correct or whatever. So whatever you're celebrating this month, what we wanted to talk about today was how we can organize our content to specifically talk to people during that period of time. And we did an episode before where we talked a little bit about kind of what you should do to market your facility and all that during the holidays. But now we want to talk about the fact that you should always be cognizant of what's coming up, what events are happening, what national holidays are happening, or what major federal holidays and stuff like that are going on. So that way you can put out content that specifically speaks to people during that time period. And so we got Christmas coming up. So you should have stuff scheduled and set up to go out during Christmas and to talk to people about what's happening during Christmas. And that way, if you have a large subset of people who are celebrating it, which most gyms do, they're going to see that and they're going to say, oh man, they were thinking about us during the holidays. They put out this carol or whatever, this fun piece of content on that day when I was sitting at home opening presents with my children and I got to watch it. And it wasn't just another day.
Yeah, it's an opportunity, right? So, any holiday, anything where people can unwind, take the day off, not have to go to work. I think so. That's a big one, is kind of identifying the non-work related holidays. People sit around and gives them time to, kind of dive into their social media and read stuff and get caught up. And, they might like following your stuff, but, they're just so busy that they don't actually take time to get through and read. So it's a good idea to put stuff out that you're actually talking to people. Like it's, you want to get some communication out and say, hey, hey guys, Dave Picardi here, and I'm, just wanted to wish you guys a Merry Christmas or a Happy Hanukkah or, a Happy New Year's, whatever it is. It's a good way to personally communicate with people and know that, the maximum audience that you have, and especially the people that are within your network, will most likely see your content on the big holidays.
Yeah, and if you're cognizant of what's coming up, people are going to see you as being relevant at the same time. They're going to say, oh man, these guys are putting out really fun holiday stuff. Or on Christmas Day, they had something that went out that was specifically speaking to that day, and I got to watch it and feel special because it was talking to me on that one day when I was sitting at home hanging out. Or if you're doing something like we were talking about when the presidential elections and stuff happen, everybody's on their phones. When the Super Bowl happens, everybody's glued to their TVs and everybody's watching the commercials and doing all that stuff and going to social media to check if they can't watch it. So these are the things when you should be cognizant of that specific event that's happening and put out content that speaks to people who are paying attention to that event. Like there was a campaign that came out, I can't remember what company it was, Oreo or something, during the Super Bowl when the power went out. Do you remember that, Dave? When all the power went out in the stadium, and they said, even when the power's out, you can enjoy this, whatever company it was, but they had people literally there waiting, paying attention and trying to capitalize on that specific moment. And we're not saying you have to actually be on and like interacting with people and everything on these holidays, but you should have something that goes out that talks to them or that speaks to that specific day. So that way you're continuously relevant, you're doing something different than anyone else, and you're always putting yourself ahead of the game.
Yeah, and then it comes back to that plan we help people develop where it's, like to say, like we were talking about the presidential election. So whatever, a year and a month ago, there was there was a big election, right? Comes up every 4 years. And we happened to run a call to action advertisement for the Treehouse. And we ran it. It started on the night of the election. And we were up, not only were we up all night watching the election, but my whole team was up calling each other, talking like, can you even believe this is going on? We got about 30 leads that night alone. It was nonstop. The leads were just coming in. And, it was because we had an ad running and so many people were engaged with social media that night. So just identifying that, like when people are going to be really engaged, big events that are going on, get yourself inserted into that stuff. And, it's a great way to build your audience, connect with people, but stay ahead of it. Don't, just because, like everybody else has the day off doesn't mean you take the day off. And you don't have to be in there working, but be ahead of it, create some content that's going to be relevant for that day. If you're running a good platform for it, like, we have our enterprise solution that you can go in and schedule out and all that stuff. And you can just be ahead of it. So you can make sure that your good content that you put thought into hits on big events, big days, and then you're ready for it. So, you're doing all this work year round. You might as well capitalize on the big days.
Yeah, that's huge. And it doesn't have to be anything elaborate either. Like, I just had the thought that I'll get the whole Stone Age crew together and we'll sing "We Wish You a Merry Christmas" and then make it hilarious. And then we'll put that out on Christmas Day and everybody can listen to it and be joyous and merry or whatever. And like when Valentine's Day comes up, we'll put up a video that's like, hey, we want you to be our Valentine because we love everybody or something like that. And that way we're speaking to the specific holiday that's happening. We're speaking to the people who are paying attention to it. And we're adding a little dose of humor to what we're doing at the same time. And you only add the humor if you're speaking directly to your brand. And that's what your brand is about. If you're more of a serious brand or you're not about the humor side of things.
Then be serious.
Yeah, then be a serious. What is it? A serious Sally?
It could be.
Yeah.
It could be.
Be a serious Sally.
It could be a silly Sally. So Sally's, I think she's a multi-dimensional character.
That's true. Sally can really be anything you want her to be.
She can be scary Sally, silly Sally,
happy Sally.
Well, I had a whole SS theme going on. You really threw me off my game there.
That's what I do. I create the variables that make people think, how did he think that up?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Or you could even have a real crazy one called Slappy Sally.
I don't know where we're going. Oh, I love it. So, just in case anyone just in case that was too far off, so let's get right back on point. Just being prepared, right? So you can even come up with your annual, like think about like all the different big events that are going to happen over the next year, and make sure that you have a 12-month calendar for that. And then when something comes up that you didn't think of, add it to the calendar. That way, you have a good content marketing calendar that gears at big events where you'll get big social reach, where you can go on ahead of time, create some great content, schedule it to go out. So your content's working, then you can take the day off like everybody else.
Yeah. Someone asked us the other day, they were like, should we put out anything on like Christmas Day or these holidays? Is anybody really on social? And I'm like, everybody's on social on these days. When you think about the way the modern family interacts, they have 30 minutes a night they spend together at home, and 29 of those minutes are on their phones. So when they're off, they're going to spend that entire day on their phones. They're going to be connected the whole time. Right. So everybody is always connected to something, and nobody wants to actually talk to each other. So just know that you can capitalize on their attention when they're sitting there.
Well, they're all looking at the same stuff on the same feeds, watching the same videos. If I say to the family, you guys got to check out this video, they'll just watch it on their own phone. And so everybody's glued.
Yeah,
constantly.
It's true. And if they don't talk to each other, they'll text each other and stuff like that and talk back and forth that way. So just know that everybody's connected. They're always going to be on, and they're going to be more likely to be on when they're home the whole day because they're not used to being home that much and they're not used to having the whole day free. So a lot of the time when you have all that free time, you spend it, you just waste it. So people just sit there and they edge out on their phones, they listen to podcasts, they set everything up, and that's kind of how the family interacts and the human dynamic interacts in the current situation we're in.
I think a lot of it is. So, Well, they'll just catch up. Like if you're someone that they like to see stuff from, so if you're doing a consistent job on an annual basis, producing content, getting your story and your message out, and people, if they like it, it's a day that they can actually go back and maybe scroll through your whole feed and see all the stuff that's going on. Because normally they're so busy that they're on the go and they're skipping around. So yeah, just be prepared. I think that's the big message for today is, creating content for holidays or big events or anything like that is it's something that you want to prepare for, and don't miss the opportunity and have stuff come and go and be like, oh, I should have done that, and oh, it would have been great to do that. Businesses only need a little bit of this consistent effort to turn the corner, and what you find is that little bit of consistent effort is things like this, and a lot of businesses just don't get it. They don't do it. They don't get that extra 10, 20% of success and revenue that would really make all the difference in the world for them if they just paid attention to this stuff.
Yeah, that's huge. Just be cognizant of what's happening. Write out a whole yearly calendar of specific holidays where you need to make special content on outside of your normal content. And then as long as it's mapped out and planned out and set up ahead of time, you can set, like for Christmas, you can set it up to post on Christmas Day. And then you don't have to interact or pay attention to it till the next day or till whenever you decide you want to go back into the work environment. But at least it's going to automatically go out and get posted there. So it's available for people to watch and pay attention to and have fun with. And that'll set you up different. So everybody else is going to take the day off, or they're going to post just a random picture that says "Happy Holidays" from all of us at your gym, and it looks like, ooh, we're so special. Whereas you could put out a video and just have like your whole staff there and interacting and be super fun and jovial, and people will see the differentiation and really appreciate it.
Yep. So anyway, out of the cave, peeps, I'll make sure that we have a 12-month calendar started for everybody. In our collaboration software. So if you're listening, go into your account and we'll have something that we can start working off of and creating these videos and getting after it.
Yeah, faux show. So
faux show.
This is the end of the episode. And I guess we're probably going to be back tomorrow because we're back in action. We took a 2-week break during the holiday when Dave took some vacation, and then I traveled all over the place. And now we're back in action, ready to roll and ready to crush everything.
That's right. It's on, baby. Crush. Crush.
Crush you. We crush your face, except we crush it with happiness and smiles.
Yeah, I like the smiles.
Yeah, it's all about that smile life.
That's right. All right, Shan, good stuff.
All right.
Welcome back. Let's get after it.
Yeah, it's so exciting. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow, maybe. If you have questions, post them in the comments or shoot us an email. hello@ootcmedia.com. See ya.